This is the sales call calendar of one of the sales reps on my team within just 1 week. And if we click through a couple more weeks, just as busy again and again and again. I can keep going with this. Well, hiding behind these black lines is my secret as to how we get so many qualified sales calls booked onto our calendar every single day. If we look across the rest of the team, their calendar is much more like this. So just across 3 people, that is 13 sales calls just in one afternoon. So in this video, I want to dispel the myth about avatar, ICP, ideal client, and give you a new frame and a different concept to consider instead. This is something that's repeatable, that's consistent, and it's hiding right behind here. So how many times have you done an ideal client avatar exercise, trying to find your ICP, your dream client, and going through a checklist where they ask you not just about the demographics, but also the psychographics? Now, don't get me wrong, that's very, very important. However, everybody in marketing talking about making your first 10K months, but what about your first 10K days, your first 100K months, 100K profit months, 500K profit months? Okay, I like to challenge conventional wisdom to get a different type of result. When we're talking about people are more likely to buy something that overcomes their pain than what gets them towards a desirable outcome, I would challenge you that that's actually incorrect. Now, if you think about your top 10 clients, the best 10 clients that you've ever served, the easiest ones to sell, and the ones who, when you did work with them, they were less reactive, they were less urgent, they were less volatile, were they running away from pain? Really think about that for a minute. Because if I look at my top 10 clients in my current business now, Scale Systems, if I think about the first business that I had almost a decade ago, which was a fitness business, or if I think about the lead gen agency and the personal branding businesses that I've ran of my own businesses in the meantime, they weren't running away from extreme pain. For example, in fitness, my best clients weren't the ones who really needed to lose a lot of weight and who were literally about to die if they didn't lose weight right now. They were women who were already in decent shape who just wanted to get a killer body. They wanted to be the top 1%. If I think about the clients who we set up DM sales systems for, people like Jeremy Miner, were they looking to run away from extreme amount of pain? No, they weren't. If I think about my current clients now, companies like Founder, which is owned by Nathan Chan, was he in an extreme amount of pain? No, he already has a fantastic business with awesome operations. He just wanted a new way to bring in more leads and sales. At first, they wanted to sell in the DMs, but I said, look, the system that you have set up is so dialed in for sales on the phone that we should be pushing all this traffic to calls. So I wrote their scripts for them. I wrote their social media copy for them so that they have now a bank of copy in which they can post on social media, and it brings in a flood of leads, plus all the automations are set up so that the leads are now tracking inside of the CRM to ensure that the setters can follow up with the leads. The setters know what to do. They have a process. They have the scripts. And then, of course, they then have the script for qualifying those leads on the first call so they can be passed through to the sales team so that the sales team can close and not just try and convince somebody to buy. So in the first 5 days of doing this, Founder collected 27.5K in cash collected. Okay? Then in the first month, it was 80K in cash collected. That's all new revenue that didn't have to have any ad spend behind it. So that goes to the actual profits. This is a huge amount of leverage that I was able to put in just from a couple of hours of work on my side through writing and tweaking existing templates that we already have that we know work specific to Founder. And so with a dream client like that, you can see here that they've already paid for almost an entire year of our services just through 1 month, just through some small tweaks. And in the first month, it's always going to be the lowest because we're just dialing in, optimizing, and testing. And so that's the power of what I'm about to share with you right now as we go through this exercise. The really cool thing is they're the easiest for us to serve. We don't even have to do much work to serve them. We make one small tweak to our existing system and we customize it and make it bespoke for them. Happy days. And if I think about the clients that we serve who are in the middle of some crisis whereby they're in a huge amount of pain because their ad account has just got shut down and they need a new organic way to bring in leads, then they're coming in with a huge amount of desperation and urgency. And if we don't perform in the first, literally 48 hours, they freak out and aren't happy. So if we look at this concept of pain versus dream outcome, is it actually true that the very best clients are in an extreme amount of pain and have a lot of urgency? I personally challenge that. Now, don't get me wrong, the vast majority of clients, okay, the average client is coming to solve a pain and to solve a problem. But if we think about those top 1% clients, the ones to optimize our marketing around, that bring in consistent leads and actually book into sales calls and want to have a conversation about it, and the type of clients that are going to wire the money straight away rather than needing to think about it, speak to their partner, etc. Let's challenge this as a consideration. So I did an exercise and I looked at really my top 10 best clients and I thought, what do they all have in common? Not just psychographics, not just demographics, but what are all of the criteria in which they have, which are commonalities, which are overlaps? And what I identified is that there was really 10 key boxes. And if somebody ticks 10 out of 10, that is like the ultimate ICP dream client for us. This is a really easy way that we found to segment the difference and then to have an automated application process whereby we essentially get this criteria out of them as they're booking a sales call with us. So then we can route through either to one of my business partners directly, okay, either to a sales rep or to a setter, depending upon how they answer, because we put some lead scoring depending on their answers. And so we can then sell them the right thing, which then means that the sales calls that we get, we know that we're getting on there to close, because prior to the sales call, we send them information specific about the offering in which they're going to be speaking to us about. So I looked at my clients like Founder, the ones who are the easiest to serve, and I ultimately made this checklist. So they already have a validated one-to-many offer. So that's something that's really key, because if they want to launch a brand new offer from scratch, they're going to be slightly harder for us to work with. That's okay. We can still work with them. But right now I'm talking champion clients, who are the easiest clients to serve, where we just do one thing, one tiny little tweak, even if it's just a couple of hours on our side, but it gets them exponential results. Okay. That's what I was looking for here. Because again, we have an offer specific for those who don't have a validated one-to-many offer, but that's not what I'm talking about here. I'm talking about optimizing your marketing around those absolute creme de la creme clients, because I believe, and I've seen this to be true across the more than 1,000 businesses that I have served and my team have served, that when you optimize your marketing around the creme de la creme client, those who see that as an aspirational goal, they want to be there. They want to get to that goal and to the point in which your best clients want to get to. Okay. The second thing is they have a validated target market. The founder has a story or accomplishment that commands authority, and it's an experience that makes their ICP go wow. So if we look at founder, he's interviewed the likes of Richard Branson, etc. They've got a 7-figure business. They already have an audience of 100,000. They sell via sales calls. They have a sales team with at least one setter and one closer. They've got a tech VA, because I don't want to be in there clicking buttons, and it's not really a good use of my time to go in and actually click those buttons. As well as that, they're already posting aggressively on social media, right? Because I can make some small tweaks to their strategy. It makes exponential results. And they're already spending 10 grand a month on ads or do big launches with ads and affiliates, okay? So this was like my dream champion client checklist. And all I did for that is I looked at my best clients, the ones where I made a small tweak to get them exponential results. And what do they all have in common? It was these things. Now, the second stage of this is that if that's the dream client, then you as the founder, even as you're building your team, you should be involved in these accounts, because these clients are the ones which are going to become your key case studies, your key testimonials, the ones which when you say the name of that client, people are like, wow, you really served that person. But then we would need to look at the next stage of this exercise, okay? And this part is really important, right? This is just the standard client that you'll be serving. So I looked at our champion client checklist, and then I thought, what are the key components of which, if somebody has these points down, then we can really serve them. And I identified these key areas, okay? So they have a validated one-to-many offer. They make 100 grand per year in profit or 250K per year in revenue. They've got a 5,000 plus social media audience, which is engaged. They spend more than 5K per month on ads. They've got an email list of 2,000, and they're very clear on the high ticket offer that they want to scale. Now, we make an offer if they tick at least 2 boxes, because they could have a good idea on the high ticket offer that they want and have 5,000 across their social media, like 2,000 friends on Facebook, 1,000 on Instagram, 3,000 connections on LinkedIn. Okay, cool. But they also don't yet have a validated one-to-many offer. They don't yet have all this profit and revenue. They don't yet have this email list and spending money on ads, that's okay because they've got the audience and then the high ticket offer. Another example could be they have a validated one-to-many offer. They're making 250K a year in revenue. They do have a 5,000 social media audience, but their profit margin is not yet at 100K. And they don't have an email list. And then they're also, not super clear on the high ticket offer that they want because they've already got this validated, but maybe they want to do something else. And so this is really helpful for us to know in the sales process, because then it means that when we're creating the plan for our clients as they come in, because what we do is everything is bespoke and customized to the client. While we have the roadmaps, we customize it individually, whether it's through a one-on-one offering, like that's directly with me, with the champion clients that we just spoke about, whether it's we think about it like we are the Avengers. My team come together and we serve clients individually, specific to that one account on that one client. And then we have a group offer. So depending on how many of these checkboxes they tick and whether or not they want the Avengers or if they want the group, we then make them an offer depending on what specifically is the best thing for them. And this is how we are able to ensure that the clients get the right level of support. They don't just have like a program, but they're getting the right support for them depending on what they specifically need. And we're going after those champion clients. Okay. So if you're interested in potentially exploring working with us, I'll leave a link in the description box below where you can actually go through our process. A lot of people say that going through our process alone is a level of value that is worth actually the investment in its own. But with that said, getting this clear makes everything easier because then you can automate the application process and you can route the leads to the right closer or setter, and of course potentially even a business partner or yourself depending on the quality of the lead. And so with all of that in mind, I hope that this was helpful. I hope this changed the way that you think. And in case you haven't seen my videos before, my name is Lauren Tickner. I've scaled 3 of my own companies to more than between $1 million and $5 million a year in profit. And I'm really looking to help others leverage social media and selling through organic social media specifically in order to get similar results. So I'm going to be posting more on here. This is my first one in a while, but I'm looking forward to getting content pumped out. And if there's anything specific that you'd like to know, please drop those questions below. And if you like this style or if you prefer face to camera, just let me know. I'm open to feedback right now because I haven't been posting for a while. So with all of that said, thank you so much for consuming this here today. I hope it was helpful and I will see you in the next one. Subscribe.